All right, guys, we are moving right along with our digital SAT math practice in the topics of advanced math. Our next section is exponential functions, equations, and expressions and radicals. Example 8 says, a researcher estimates that the population of a city is increasing at an annual rate of 0.6%. If the current population of the city is 80,000, which of the following expressions appropriately models the population of the city T years from now, according to the researcher's estimate? So, for a question like this, they're leading you to use the formula for exponential functions, which looks like f of x equals a times 1 plus or minus r to the power of x. Okay. This is not a formula that they give you on your SAT reference sheet. So this is something that you need to be at least familiar enough with to be able to use. I'm not going to say that you have to have this memorized, because if you're looking at your answer choices, like there's a formula that sticks right out to my eye that matches this for me. So if you've used your exponential formula equation enough times, like you'll be familiar enough to see that, oh, okay, I know that's wrong, these don't look right, and this one has to be correct. So if we are increasing at an annual rate of 0.6%, that's going to tell us right here that this r, we're going to add the rate to the 1 inside of our parentheses. So 1 plus the rate of 0.6%. We're going to move our decimal 2 times, or like divide it by 100, right? 0.006. And look, lucky enough for us on the SAT, it's all the same decimal for that 6 anyway. Okay. And then to the power of, and this one just instead of x, your variable is t years. So instead of an x up there, we'll put in our t. And this a up here, it can be called quite a few different things. Our keywords of telling us what this is that's the current population of the city. So that A is our current population of the city. And I've seen on SAT or other standardized tests, 80,000. And they're next together like this. That means they're multiplying, right? I've seen this enough times that the keyword might not be the word current. It could also be starting, initial. It could be, if you're talking about money, it could be a principal in an account, or a principal on a loan. It's also called the y-intercept, or they'll ask you, what is the y-intercept of this? Oops, sorry about that. Ooh, where'd it go? Okay, y-intercept. All of these things are talking about the same spot, this 80,000, or that letter A in the formula. So knowing this, I can look over here and say, this is in the wrong spot, this is in the wrong spot, this T is in the wrong spot. So A has to be the correct answer. And we have 2 more questions on this subtopic for advanced math, so we're going to keep on going real quick. To question number 9 says, which of the following is equivalent to 1 over the square root of x, all to the power of n? So if you're really great at your rules for radicals, then you can follow these steps right here from the answer key. But if that's not your strong suit for memorizing rules for radicals and square roots and exponents, then we got a little hack here where you can actually just use the pick a number strategy and check this on the calculator. So if I say that I want to use my pick a number strategy, I can pick a number, right? Pick a number. I never want to pick a negative because that's kind of sounds like a pain to me. I never want to pick 0. I never want to pick 1. And I never want to pick a number that I see in the equation. I see a 1 and I see a 2. So I'm not going to pick a 2. But I can make my x be equal to 3 if I want to, or 30 if I want to, whatever. I'm picking a number. And I can make my n be equal to 4 or 10 or 500, whatever. I'll just keep it simple. I'll keep it at 4. Okay? And now when I plug this over here on the decimals calculator, I have 1 over the square root of x to the power of n. And I said, anywhere I see an x, I'm going to make it a 3. Anywhere I see an n, I'm making it a 4. Then I get the 0 with a 1 repeating. Now I'm going to try option A, answer choice A, which has x to the power of n over 2. And I'm going to change my x to a 3. I'm going to change my n to a 4. And that is not a match, so I know A is out. I'm not backing out what I've input here because I can go right to answer choice B. And the only difference is that this is negative up here. So I'm just going to get my mouse in and make that a negative. And look what happened. I got a match. So I have solved that question without having to have my rules for my radicals and exponents memorized. And I can move on to the next one. Question number 10 says, what are all possible solutions to the given equation? And when I come here, I can just type it in. X minus 12 equals the square root of x plus 44. And I got my little squiggle here on my decimals calculator, which tells me the calculator has graphed something for me. And the only place where I have a solution here is at 20. There's not a line on the 5. There is a line on the 20. There's not a line. Here would be the 5. And there's nothing. Here would be the negative 5. And there's nothing. So the only place that has a solution out of my options is the 20. And there's the explanation there if you're going through the long way to answer that. To me, I think it's easiest to just answer it on the calculator. And our next topic will be solving rational equations. I think I can go ahead and put this in really fast on this video. Let me just peek on my time. Yeah, I've got 5 minutes left. Number 11 says, if t is a solution to the given equation and t is greater than 0, what is the value of t? Again, I'm just going to come over here to the calculator. 3 over t plus 1 equals 2 over t plus 3 plus 1 over 4. Over 4. Okay, so this looks like that. And now my calculator's talking to me and it says, Ms. Cameron, we only support implicit equations of x and y. So, okay, it doesn't like the t. I'm going to change the t's to x's, both of them, to make the calculator happy, because we want to work together and not against the calculator. And when I do that, I've got two answers. I've got -5 and I've got a +5 here. And this says if t is a solution to the given equation and t is greater than 0, what is the value of t? Would that be my -5 or my +5? If t has to be greater than 0, only one answer is my +5. So you would just type that in on the SAT and you're done with that question. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this video here, and I will catch you back on the next one for systems of equations.